Welcome back to another episode of the Green White Checker Podcast. I am Andrew. I'm here with Zach, Joe, and Drake. We're here to talk about Talladega, the Roval, and got quite a bit of news this week, too, to go over. So let's get at it, boys. Let's start with the KBM sale to Spire.
Wow.
Kind of, yeah, it's a big purchase there.
I just
Zach,
want to know.
you're...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you go ahead. No,
you can go ahead. Go ahead.
No, Drake had the first question.
What I have to say is way more important than what anyone else has to say ever, obviously.
100%.
If they have this much money to buy all these teams and all this stuff, why are their cars not more competitive? Which I'm hoping this is a sign of things to come. Like maybe they just got a bunch of funding. Maybe we're about to see a little bit more life in them, which I would love since Corey just re-signed with them. But come on, like what's the deal? I mean, there's probably not politics, maybe not the right word, of like the number one Chevy team or whatever. Like they don't have the same access to everything, but like surely you can pay Hendrick more money and get better parts. I don't know, but it's confusing to me.
I think they've been building. Corey's running a lot better than he's ever have.
True.
He's got more speed. It's not like a flip of the switch. And maybe with Legacy leaving Chevy, it's allowing Chevy to give Spire more assistance, more attention. So who knows? I mean, they're spending a lot of money. Lots of money. So, I mean, you can't spend all that money and not do anything with it. So I'm sure they have a plan or they're working on some stuff. So we'll see what they do. But as far as the Kyle Busch side of things, for me as a Kyle Busch fan, I guess I don't really have a reason to watch trucks anymore. So fuck a truck, as they like to say in the other podcast. I don't know. It's whatever. I'm just more surprised because I thought he was going to at least hold on to it. I mean, he said it. He said he was going to hold on to it until Brexton was able to race trucks and he was going to race with him. And I thought he was going to, whenever he decided to step down from Cup, try to run a truck series season or two to get the truck championship. That way he had all three. Because I don't think anybody has that. Fact check me on that, but I don't
know.
I don't believe any driver has all three championships. So I don't know. I was surprised. But I guess, fat checks talk, right? So he found some reason. I did see an interesting theory. I don't know if I buy it, but there's a theory going around that maybe Kyle is going to try to buy into RCR on some level, like some sort of partner level at some point, which would be an interesting move. I would like that for Kyle, but I don't know if I see that. But who knows? I didn't see him leaving JGR, and I didn't see him selling KBM, so who the hell knows?
ABRCR. He is staying on as a consultant for Spire, and he's going to be running some truck races with Spire also.
Yeah, I did see that. He'll run a couple races for him, so he'll still be around. But I mean, whatever. I don't really care about trucks that much anyway. So It's just, I get it. Somebody comes and offers me what they pay, like $25 million for that. Which, if they did pay 25, that's what I heard. I don't know if that's a correct number, but if it doesn't seem like a lot. I think that's what you're going to say. Like, if one charter is $40 million, you can buy a whole truck team.
Yeah.
For 25, a very competitive truck team for 25 million. It seems kind of off.
3 cars, like 3 full-time rides. So
no, I think they have 4 or 2. 2. I think they only have 2 fielded this season.
Yeah.
How does trucks work? Is there like a charter system with that?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Okay, so
no charter system, and I think you can run up to 4 trucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think their shop is big enough to run 4 because I think they've run 4 in the past. Right now, they're
Spider's going to move everything over there, so you're going to have 2 cars, a part-time car, and then the truck teams.
Yeah, I just want to know where the hell he's going to put all his trophies because I think that's where all his win trophies are at KBM.
You have to buy another house with $25 million.
Yeah, I guess so.
Making it a trophy room edition.
Yeah, he'll have to do something. How many trophies? 225, something or other, plus or minus. He's got quite a few trophies to put somewhere.
So I probably missed this, so excuse my ignorance, but Spire has a truck, or they just like rent that chart. How does that 7 truck run?
I thought they rented it. Okay. I thought it was like a Hendrick them thing.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Because I was like, are they just gonna? Is this like an addition to their already team? I didn't know how that 7 truck ran. But I guess that makes sense now. They'll have a full-time 7 truck. Because I didn't think it was full-time, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. Any thoughts, Joe? You good?
Yeah, y'all covered it.
Okay, so we got some scheduled news kind of coming out again, just like we did last week. Iowa Speedway officially gets a date, Father's Day weekend.
That's exciting.
I'm excited. I already got a hotel, so let's go.
I'm excited and nervous. I'll tell you why I'm kind of nervous about it, because we've been wanting. I mean, at least I've been wanting Iowa on the schedule for a long time. And they finally put it on, and that's great. But they put it on the schedule when we have the shittiest short track package.
Yeah,
so it's like,
that's gonna
what
be
I'm kind of worried about is I don't think the race is going to be very good just because of what we've come to expect from the short track stuff right now. So it's like I don't want that to be a shitty race and everybody's like, "Oh, Iowa sucks."
Right.
Like I want us to be able to watch the race with full awareness of what it is we have right now.
Or
isn't
better yet, they make changes in the offseason that make short tracks good.
I haven't heard them announce anything yet, though.
I mean,
I haven't either.
You got to think they're looking at it, but
I feel like, I don't know. I guess they did announce some, at least like better research and test runs done earlier in the season last season, but I feel like they did still make some changes during the break, like did some extra test runs and then made some package changes.
Yeah, but I just think they like said they were doing that. That's really like I haven't heard that they're doing anything. Surely they're going to do something because it sucks, but I just haven't heard that they're going to do anything, or even like what they want to try.
I'm kind of optimistic for it just because, I mean, if you watch an Iowa speed race, like IndyCar race right now, they're always on the low side, right? But this is a progressive banking track, so the cup cars are going to want to go up. So maybe we get a nice, kind of cars racing every group type deal. I don't know. I'm excited.
We'll have to see. I just hope if it's crap, we understand that it's crap because of certain situations, not because of Iowa itself.
I feel like Iowa is a little, and this is just again like as obviously an iRacer who knows everything. I don't know if they've done any changes since they scanned Iowa and iRacing, but I know there's almost some benefits to running certain lanes over, like I think like the high lane over like the middle lane or low lane because there's so many bumps in that middle lane. So I'm curious to how this car will behave on those, and if that's kind of a unique thing too is maybe there's not more like technical grip there, but since it's upsetting the car on the bumps, is it better to run high versus low? Like, you know what I mean? Like it might cause, I think that's some of the dynamicness of Iowa to begin with. So I'm curious to see how a car that's this low to the ground, I guess, runs on a track like that. It's kind of like a street coursey and the bumpiness, I guess.
Yeah.
But be interesting.
I can't remember what lanes you run in Iowa, and it's been a long time since I've ran that on iRacing. What lanes you run on iRacing?
I want to say you run the high line, but I don't.
I think 3 and 4. I think 3 and 4 you do, but I think 1 and 2 it's kind of like a mid line, if I remember.
Okay,
that sounds
be
right.
wrong. It's been a while.
There's that bump, like Drake said, in the high.
I don't think you want to go too high. I don't think there's any grip in the top lane.
Aren't the bumps like kind of middle lane?
Mid. No, it's like medium well, like mid high.
Medium well. I like medium rare.
I'm gonna start using that. Well done. What are we saying? Well done's top lane and rare.
The wall, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's good.
So I'm gonna run about half lane off the bottom.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. Like I said, I already got a hotel. Got to figure out the whole Father's Day weekend thing because that's a rough one for me. I don't know if I'll be able to be there Sunday, but I'm excited.
Xfinity cars are going too.
Condition.
So
yep.
Yeah,
and
Xfinity race will be good.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So even if the Cup race sucks, Xfinity will be good.
I liked the Xfinity races there before.
Yeah, they were good.
I mean, they had a couple good shows. So yeah, I'm excited. No other real track announcements yet, but we do get the full schedule supposedly tomorrow. So by the time you're listening to this, it's out, is my guess. But
that's the plan.
Some interesting things I've heard, some rumors, and I hope some of them aren't real. Watkins Glen being the cutoff, regular season cutoff. Like, please no, don't do it.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening at all.
Yeah.
I mean, the one, like, if there's any one thing that NASCAR is universally praised for, I think it's moving Daytona to the cut race.
Yeah.
Like that is everybody loves that move. That race is now like a can't miss. It's so good every year. So
I'm wondering. So
I keep moving it for Watkins Glen.
yeah. So right now it's what is it? Watkins Glen, Indy Road Course. No, it's the other way around, right? It's Indy Road Course, Watkins Glen, Daytona.
That's how it was this year. Yeah.
I don't see that changing.
I hope they spread them out. I don't want 2 road courses back to back.
Well, you're not going to. They already said Indy Oval or Indy. Indy Oval's coming back. So.
Oh, then
that
yeah,
one's
never
gone.
mind. Then you don't gotta worry about it.
Yeah, maybe they switch them, put Watkins Glen before it, but I don't know. I don't see it being the cutoff race. It'd be a horrible mistake from NASCAR.
Yeah, that seems like a meme. Whatever, just random rumor going around.
Yeah,
I would buy that. I have to see it on the real schedule to buy it, kind of thing.
We said Joe
Tomorrow,
Gibbs did tweet out the real schedule today. We got
They did?
Figure 8 cutoff race. We got Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
First 10 races. They got Radiator Springs Cup race. Been highly requested to go back there. So it'll be a great season.
the Montreal F1 doubleheader though. That's the real weekend there. But
yeah, there it is.
yeah.
Can you imagine F1 Twitter if they had to share a weekend with us?
Oh my gosh.
I would so want to go though. Like that'd be an amazing weekend.
Oh yeah, Montreal's
Never gonna happen though.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Before we get into the race, Joe, you were listening to Actions Detrimental today.
I was while I was making dinner. That is correct.
And you posted in our Discord, has anybody listened to this? And no, we hadn't. But I went back and I had to listen to it. And there is a shocking ad. You want me to play it?
Was.
I'll play it.
Hit the button. Oh, God.
Hi there. It's your vagina speaking.
So, we got speaking of vaginas and actions Detrimental.
Oh.
I don't know. I laughed a little bit.
I know my vagina can speak to me. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hi there.
I mean,
it's your vagina speaking.
I was cooking dinner and I was like, did I just hear that?
That's hilarious.
You got to appeal to all demographics.
Didn't even know I had a vagina.
Yeah.
They
that
speak.
There's some jokes I could make here, but I'm not going to.
Do it.
No. We're trying to get advertisers. I'm not doing.
But sponsor us though? Wink.
Sponsor us vaginas.
We get a vagina sponsorship, please. This episode of the Green White Checker podcast is brought to you by vaginas.
Some Tampax next.
Oh lordy. Yeah. Hey.
Can't wait to read that one out.
Sponsor us, we'll take everything.
It went from a Coke Zero ad to that, and I was like, oh, okay. That's quite the ad there, Dennis.
A wide range.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Talladega.
So NASCAR.
Yeah, we'll start with the Cup race. Ryan Blaney.
Speaking of vaginas, Matt Crafton. What?
Ooh, yeah, we'll get to that. Ryan Blaney wins. He's going on to the final 8 here.
Yep.
Anybody surprised? I mean,
No, not really.
This was the only way I saw him making the final 8.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. So, I mean, it's good for him. Some of the other guys, I mean,
Not so much.
I don't have the playoffs up, but yeah, it's.
I got it
don't
up
know.
right now. Kyle's 26 points out.
26 out. Ooh, that's rough. He's gonna have
Zach, your thoughts?
No, I'm not excited about it. I mean, ultimately though, I think just assuming Kyle gets knocked out this round, I don't feel bad about 23. I think 23 was a success overall for Kyle. When he went to RCR, I wasn't even sure if he would get a win. He got 3 wins, and we made it further in the playoffs this year. So, whatever. I think if they lost something in the second half of the year, whatever it was, they were just always stumbling. Something was going on, whether it be the car would break or Kyle would stuff in the wall in practice or something. There's always something going on. So maybe them getting kicked out this round isn't the worst thing. Lets them sort of work on stuff without the pressure of the playoffs looming overhead and sort of prepare and test some things for 24. But overall, I think I think everybody would have to agree that 23 was a success for the RCR move. Because I don't think anybody saw 3 wins, let alone, or 1 win, let alone 3.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So he's locked in, and you got, I don't know, a couple of guys that I don't think are going to do well at the Roval, like Bubba. And I guess
Bring up
Ross
the
could,
playoffs.
but besides for Coda, Ross really hasn't been running well at road courses. So
I mean, he did the same thing last year. Like, he just, like, Ross was, like, super aggressive at the start of the season. Raced really, raced like Ross, but was up front, getting points and all that stuff. And then he got into a kerfuffle and slowed down all season. And he did the same thing last year. He's doing it again. Like, I don't even remember when's the last time you remember Ross really being relevant in a race?
That Darlington
a couple weeks ago.
race.
Right before that.
Was it?
Not counting the playoffs, because he did get some feedback in the playoffs.
July and August, he was pretty slow.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't really see
I mean, there
him
was the
until,
whole
like,
time we
Daytona.
thought, and then there was the whole time we thought that, Hendrick, like, really smacked the shit out of him after Dover.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just whatever. And it's not just Ross. It's Suarez, too. Suarez has fallen off.
Big time. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's a whole. I don't want to sound like it's all a Ross problem. I think it's a track house issue. Whatever they got going on right now, they've just kind of fallen off a bit.
Yeah, they came out like a shot out of a cannon, and now we're just kind of dwindling off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think you can overcome the -10 deficit at the Roval?
I don't know Ross to be a good road course racer. I mean, 10 points
He's
isn't.
bully his way up there, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, 10 points isn't unachievable. I mean, we're gonna have stage cautions
Right.
this race, so you play stages, play for points. I think like Christopher Bell. If I'm Christopher Bell, I'm playing for points. I'm not playing for the win. So Ross, I think, could play for points and find his way getting in. He probably has a better shot getting in playing points than he does going for the win, I would think.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if I was like Bell, Busher, I'm staying out. I'm not going for the win. I'm going for those, 20 points or whatever playoff points you can get. Because then you're technically like plus 40 right now, and you're locked in at that point. But
pretty much, yeah.
It's kind of hard too right now where Ross is positioned because, I mean, he's going up. Like some guys at the bottom, like near-ish the cut line, are notable road course racers or slightly improved road course racers. Like Bubba's gotten better at road courses. I won't say he's good, but he's definitely gotten better. You got Martin Truex there, 17 points above the cut line. I mean, he was the road course ringer for a while. He hasn't really done, I feel like, a whole lot on road courses recently, but still notable skill there. Larson's gotten a lot better at road courses. I feel like his best bet is Brad, sucking and dropping a bunch of points because Brad's not really I want to say he's really good at road courses, period. But
no, I wouldn't say so.
And then, so Reddick, I don't know where he stands at road courses, probably like mid-pack, if I'm not mistaken. But still, Ross is a couple guys that he's really got to, which I guess, Brad, Reddick being in front of him are good, but he's going to need a couple guys to really screw up and him to still do pretty well to advance his way through here. But it's going to be a big challenge for him this week for sure.
yeah, Reddick's a pretty good road course racer, so I could see him jumping Brad really easy. But I mean, the plus 15, that's 17-point jump from Reddick to Larson. I don't know. That seems it's going to be hard. You got to get the stage points. And
you got to get the stage points, and somebody's got to have some
finish
issues.
well. Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of issues, freaking Martin Truex.
Oh man. Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, they can't do anything, and it pisses me off that they're still above the cut line. And if he survives the Roval, bang, he's back to the top again. It drives me nuts.
Same. I hate it so much. Like, there needs to be a penalty or
what has he done this playoffs that warrants him being in the championship round?
Okay, but
nothing.
Okay, here's the thing though, Zach.
I like them. I like them having an impact.
Right. But here's the thing. What was it 2 seasons ago that Larson was absolutely dominating? 2 or 3 seasons ago, and we said there was comments made by I think you were one of the ones to make them. It's like, I hope Kyle Larson doesn't win the championship, NASCAR can realize how stupid this playoff format is. So, by that logic,
he won 10 races that year,
right? But still, he's a regular season champion. I mean, I guess that's it's a good point. Yeah, he was like absolutely dominant that season. But I mean, if someone is the winner of the regular season, should that not help carry them through like some bad races in the playoffs? Like, I agree. This is just a little bit of devil's advocate here, but like,
yeah, some,
not
right.
6.
I will give you some,
Right?
but he is, and I full disclosure, back then I was full boo team playoffs.
Right.
I've come around since then.
That's true.
I've grown as a human, or
accepted it.
Yeah, accepted it.
You've become complacent. Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't love the idea of how they did the championship. I think that's my only complaint about the whole playoff system is like the actual championship round. I still don't like that.
So, I mean, let's just look through his results. He was 18th at Dega, 17th at Texas. Then he was, or before then, if this will load, it's not going to, of course, as I start to need it to load. He was 19th at Bristol. He was, oh gosh, where is he here? He was 36th at Kansas because he did wreck out like lap 3 or whatever. He was, where is he here? 18th again. Like, yeah, hardly in the top 20, basically every playoff race at this point. So, yeah, I mean, it is definitely like 24th the race before that at Daytona. Like, what, you know.
The race at Kansas, perfect example. He had that shitty tire issue on lap 1 or whenever he wrecked out. You know, I like that the playoff points cover you in that scenario, but like he's done nothing all playoffs. So it's like, that's where I'm like, okay, the playoff points are a little too OP. I think we need to do a little adjustment here just because I think you need to show up. Like, even if you go back, like, I think my favorite playoff format or championship format is still the chase. I like how that all worked. So even if you would go back to the chase, if he's having rounds like this, he's out. Like, he's done.
Right.
So, I mean, there's no championship format where he would continue to carry and still be a threat to win the championship with a performance like this for the last, 6 races? So, I don't know. It just... I like the idea that they're there to cover you for 1 or 2 bad races, but he's had a bad race since the playoffs started. He hasn't had a good one yet.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't like it. You know, obviously 6 races, all bad. Like I said, there needs to be some kind of punishment. Like, I don't have a problem with, you know, a little bit of a carry throughout the playoffs, but man, he's being fully carried right now. Like, just give him a bye at this point.
That's what it's basically like. It's just kind of irritating. Like, I don't hate the idea of you getting enough playoff points that you can basically get a bye to that first round. Like, you don't got to worry about shit in that first round. That's fair. And even in the second round, you don't really have to sweat too much. But you need to run well.
Top 10s. I mean, barely top 20, and you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, I again, I was doing a little bit of a devil's advocate there, but
no, it's fair.
I
did say that about Larson because I was still super anti-playoffs, but
for sure,
it was last year where Christopher Bell got his first walk-off win. I'm like, God damn it, I like these playoffs.
that's the thing, man. Is I feel like people can be too hard on this playoff format, which I've always, I don't know about always, but I've definitely been like a fan of it. It does create excitement. It creates a lot of storylines. It creates a lot of good things. Let's say I'm a fan of the playoffs. Obviously, there's some negatives to it. Like with the current format, like we're saying, Martin Truex still being above the cut line when he hasn't placed better than 18th in the past in any playoff race period yet, and is solely being carried by his regular season performance. He's basically got a free pass to at least the round of 8. But yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, I overall say I'm a fan of the format, but yeah, that could use some adjustment for sure. I think it should carry some weight, like y'all said. It should help some that he was a regular season champion, did really well for the first, you know, majority of the season. But I'd be curious to see, and I'm sure we could find this somewhat easily. I know there's some people who keep track of like the non-playoff standings or whatever. I'd be interested to see where he actually is now after these playoff races, and if there wasn't a playoff style points format.
Let me do some Googling, because I think there is. I know there's somebody out there.
Like every week, he's like, "This is what the points would look like. This is what the championship running would look like if we didn't have the playoffs, or we had this format or whatever." I'm pretty sure there's a guy who posts that most weeks. So I'm curious where he'd actually be now, because if we were just a traditional points format, I guess where would he still be? At the end of the season, would he still be the winner? At this rate, I'm going to say no. But, who knows?
Yeah.
Dangle here in the chat. Again, we do stream these live on YouTube, 9:30 p.m. Eastern approximately, every Tuesday. Alex Dangle here in the chat. He asked, should regular season champ and most wins leader get a bye in the first round, still collecting points for round 2? Not the worst idea. I think if you did that, Dangle, personally, I think obviously you'd have to make some other adjustments, like you don't get to carry over that many points into each round like they do now. I think that, like you start each round at everyone's on the same page except for the people who won stages and won races, and they have all these extra points, so now they're basically still locked in for the next round. I think if you made some adjustments to that, not necessarily take them away, but not make them as drastic, I think that'd be not a horrible idea. I'm not saying, I don't know if I'm for it. I'd have to think about it a little bit more, but I think that's definitely a proposition.
I'm not a big fan of a bye. Like,
I like my idea because it's my idea, so my ideas are always the good ones. Just where you cut it in half each round. You cut the playoff gap is in half, and then you make whatever points you make in that round go towards your new total. So if you go into the playoffs with 30 playoff points and you gain 4 points in round 1, you have 19 points going into round 2. Took me a second. And always round up.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's going to be odd numbers. Like if I have 19 points, just give you 10. Because it would be like, what, 9.5 or whatever. So just round up to give you 10. But that way they have an impact for a longer period of time than just the first round, but they're also, you have to still keep performing. You can't just rest on them the whole way through.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dangle says adds excitement and purpose to regular season champ. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a better fix than just knocking down their current basically bye to the round of 8. Like somehow making some adjustments there, but it's definitely better than basically getting a bye. I mean, like you said, we don't like buys, but with the points Truex has, again, he's placed horrible every single race, but still is above the cut line by 17 points going into the last race. I mean, that's almost a bye to the last to the round of 8 at least. So I don't hate that if you do make those adjustments, but I would, like Andrew's point, I'm not a huge fan of the whole bye idea, but it's right now we basically have a bye, so make some adjustments so that's not the case.
Yep. All right, so we had a couple of big wrecks in this race. You had Brad Keselowski turning Carson Hocevar. Any comments on that one?
I'll be honest.
Go ahead.
No, you first.
No.
Mine's controversial. I went first last time. You have to go first this time.
Okay. I don't know. Brad just seems to be wrecking everybody on plate tracks since this new car, so I don't know. You got to put it on Brad, right? You're the one pushing. But I don't know. I don't know what. I did listen to DBC today, and it sounded like. Now again, this is coming from TJ Majors, who lets spots for the 6 car, so there is a little bit of bias involved. But he was saying that I guess Carson just jumped out into the lane with no run, which you can't really do. If you're going to jump onto a lane, you have to have some forward momentum. Well, no, then he said no, because that's not what caused it, because then he said Brad pushed him around the track. So I guess it was just Carson jumped in the top lane and his car wasn't handling well and just couldn't take the push very well. So I don't know. I got to put it on Brad just because you're the one pushing.
Yeah. My controversial take. Y'all are going to hate me for this.
Oh, here we go.
Carson's kind of growing on me a little bit. I know. I don't know what it is. I think he's shown a little more maturity in the cups, and like he still has made some dumb mistakes, but he's kind of grown on me. I don't know why, but he's kind of grown on me. I'm not team anti-Carson anymore.
So when you get in your T-shirt and diecast.
Okay, calm down. All right, I'm not Joe like Kyle Busch. Okay, all right, Joe.
So
Yeah, dude, he's got more Kyle Busch diecast than I have. That's not even a joke.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
I
it's
love
fact.
Kyle Busch so much. I just such a big fan.
There it is,
See?
straight from his mouth.
That's a deep fake news.
It's AI. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I think it's the kind of the underdog
Yeah.
story, right? He's the rookie guy kind of thrown into this slow team, and he's performing.
Yeah.
I kind of see it, but at the same time, it's like, oh wait, he wrecked 3 people to get the win at Texas in trucks, and then next week he tried to right hook somebody and wrecked himself.
Right.
So,
But he's a kid. You know what? How old is he? Like 14? You know what I mean? Like he's got some growing to do.
14. He's like 20 something.
my main thing is I don't want them to limit his personality when he moves full-time cup. I don't want him to become another robot out there, you know. It's more than just the hats, too. You got to just have a personality and add something to the broadcast and all that stuff. And actually, while we're talking broadcast, the front stretch interviews. What do you guys think? It's become another hot topic.
I hate him.
Yeah.
I hate him so much. I think I don't remember if someone put it in Discord, but the one where Blaney was like on top of his car, but the Marty Smith and his camera crew was just like in the way of the picture. It's like that's obviously a small thing, but it's like you will get the same emotion in victory lane. Just look at the like Dale Jr. winning the Pepsi 400. I mean, you got the same emotion, just like 2 minutes later. You can wait. It'll be okay.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, So what really made me think was at Kansas, like I went to, Victory Lane for the celebration, and it was just like, this is awesome. Why are we not doing this? It makes no sense to me. Like during COVID, okay, fine, you want to keep, the crews, away from, the drivers, stuff like that. I get it. That was years ago. Let's get back to it. Victory Lane's a special place. And they still make the driver go there. So just do the fucking interviews there instead of sending a freaking truck out with a camera crew chasing a guy. Like,
well, it's like
makes no sense to me.
I miss watching them. I mean, I guess we still see them climbing out of their car, but I do miss the old school interviews where they're throwing like the big old Gatorade thing on top of the car, and the guys crawling out and instantly getting handed a Coke or something to spray around, and then a Gatorade to drink or something. I think that like that excitement is missed because the whole team's there. It's the confetti's going off, everything. I think the reason they're doing the front stretch because you hear the fans are more involved, which obviously turns out really well for Brandon Brown. But
just ruined his career.
Literally ruined his whole career. One comment. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I think that's the goal is to get the fans more involved, but
I don't think they need to be involved.
Yeah, they're involved for the burnouts. You get the audio from them cheering during the burnouts, then they drive to victory lane. I guess you don't get the like Kyle Busch. I don't know what all these people are booing about, but if you don't like that, you don't like racing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get that of people's reactions. I guess so, there's some pros to the front stretch interview, but ultimately, I miss the old school. Instead now we just get basically B-roll footage of them taking pictures with their team in victory lane. That's all we get is like, because they've cut to commercial.
We're doing a hat swap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We've cut to commercial after the front stretch interview. We're doing the second place, third place, cut off line driver interviews as well, and then we're while the victory lane celebration is going on, we're just showing like the post celebration of them getting the pictures and everything. It's like show us more of actual victory lane, get the interviews there, see their like raw excitement with the team. Anyway, just
what else you could do when you did the interviews in victory lane is while you're waiting for the winner to go back in victory lane, you can get interviews from the other drivers and show them quick. That's what they used to do. The winner would do. They'd
Mhm.
show the winner doing his burnout and celebration, and then they would go to, here's Matt Kenseth finished second. How do you feel about today? And he would talk about his day. And then you go to so and so, talk to them. Like you can fill that time with other interviews that often get neglected,
Right.
because we're on a time crunch.
I guess here's the question. Is this a NASCAR-induced thing? Because it's not just Fox doing it. It's not just NBC doing it. They're both doing it. So is this something that
I have no
NASCAR
idea.
said this is what we want instead of Victory Lane? Because I can't imagine both broadcasts would say, yeah, let's just switch to front stretch interviews, unless Fox did and NBC's like, whatever, we'll just keep it. But it's
I feel like there's an agreement between the two to do certain things the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
For like consistency.
Right.
I don't know from a NASCAR perspective. I don't know what difference it would make to them. But everything I've heard, it was a broadcast decision. It's a broadcast decision to do it, and I just feel like there's certain things that NBC and Fox agree to do for the sake of consistency. I could be wrong, but that's just my
That's
feeling
That's a good point.
about it.
Yeah, I was thinking
think
too.
it's
I don't know how much say NASCAR has over that anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's a broadcast thing just because if they do it on the front stretch, they can get out there, get the interview, be done, move on to, reruns of Family Guy or whatever they do.
I mean, one of the things Mike Joy said that actually, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Gotta have this.
Dude, one of my favorite things, they're doing the Talladega Nights cars at Talladega this weekend. And one of my favorite things about that movie is how, like, at the end of the big race and everything, like on the broadcast was like, and now we're gonna go to dogs figure skating or something. Like that is so true.
Speaking of which, that was awesome. That was so cool seeing those cars on.
That was fantastic. Unless you're Brian
good.
Murphy and fucking hate everything, but yeah, that was
Murphy.
All the haters can suck it.
Yeah, Brian.
that
Murphy.
was so great. He actually had the balls to say that it's the lazy
Yeah,
marketing or something like that. Like,
Because
did you see the effort they put into
I
it?
tagged
Yeah.
him, and he tagged back someone else in the thread. He's like, "Oh, it's lazy marketing." No,
They put so much effort into that.
Yeah.
They did like the whole spiel.
They got
Chase
real
Briscoe-
sponsors.
Chase Briscoe did the thing, the sliding glass door thing, the Cal Naughton
Yeah,
driver intro
Yeah.
thing. They got the real sponsors. Like, it was
lazy marketing
just-
would be doing some dumb rip-off paint scheme with another blue and red company.
Yeah.
You're just
They went
absolutely
all in.
All in. Old Spice,
Yep.
Wonder Bread. Only thing I missed was the Fig Newtons, like we mentioned last week. Having that on
And,
Yeah.
and a real and
Yeah.
a real cougar. Got
Yep.
a real cougar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They need the me car.
Like, what didn't
Yeah.
Kurt run that?
LaJoy.
Oh, he
no,
did.
it was Kurt Busch.
It was
Yeah.
her, yeah.
Someone else did too, I think. I don't think it was Corey, but I know Kurt did.
No, Corey did his face.
Mhm.
It
That was
was
Old Spice.
Kurt
Uh-huh.
the me. Yeah.
But back to
I
what I
don't
was saying, the one thing Mike Joyce said is that, you know how they, like Drake, you're saying about they put the Gatorade bottle on the car.
Mhm.
There was like this weird like sponsorship game that they would play, like, you know,
Mhm.
like, I don't know, just for example, like Nextel sponsored the Cup Series back then, and they would
Mhm.
put like the Nextel
Oh, yeah.
sign on,
Yep.
and then somebody's sponsor would conflict with that, so they would like push something in front of that box,
Yeah,
and like
Sprint. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think that
there's
the
like
big
all
thing
these
was-
weird games that went on.
was
Oh,
like
yeah.
obviously Jeff Gordon was a Pepsi guy for a while, so he would always just
That was one I think I heard too.
Yeah, whack off the Gatorade because
Do
Gatorade.
what to the Gatorade?
What?
You're gonna do
Yeah,
what
that's
to
the
the Gatorade?
clip.
Here's this is kind of interesting.
Deshaun Watson got in trouble for that.
When I interviewed for a job with NASCAR, and they made some comment too. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's like really," because it was like partially like in their social department, and they were talking about like, "Oh yeah, you really got to be careful what you post, because like, what if you take post a picture of a car, and there's a Pennzoil flag or something or sponsor in the background, but they're sponsored by Valvoline." Like, you can't have that. So, like, yeah, like, it's very interesting. Like, there's little nuances going with sponsorships. Like, you can't do anything, like, because how mad would that sponsor be, that team be, in turn, if NASCAR posted, you know, like a Bud Light, you know, flag from some infield camper on a Miller Lite car picture, you know? So, it's kind of interesting stuff like that, that all those sponsorship games that go on are always very interesting to me. I always love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's exactly what they're talking about. Like, and I think Joe's example is like Gatorade, I believe, is owned by Coca-Cola. So, and
Yep.
Jeff was a Pepsi driver, so he would. You're right, that did happen. So, like, you had all these kinds of games going on in Victory Lane that just made things complicated and probably looked a little silly at times. I don't know what sort of effect that has, but I feel like you can rein that in. Like listen, we have our sponsors that are sponsoring like this, and you're just gonna have to figure out a way to coexist. Like that's just gonna have to work. I mean, when you have a sponsorship driven sport like racing, like you're just gonna have to figure out a way for your sponsors to exist.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, I miss sponsor rivalry cars like Home Depot and Lowe's, or Bud Light and Miller Lite. I wish that was a thing more. Just a random little topic.
I agree.
Yep, Miller and the other ones.
Did you guys ever hear about the bet that was supposed to happen between Miller and Bud Light?
No.
I forget what year it was, and I forget whose idea it was. But one of the beer companies, it was when Junior and Kurt Busch were driving. One of the beer companies said to the other that if we beat you in points, your car has to be our color, and if you beat us, we'll make your car. So it could have been like a blue Budweiser car and a red Miller Lite car.
Wow.
But one of them didn't go for it.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the trucks. We're kind of getting stuck here.
Yeah, sorry.
How dare
Brett
you
Moffitt.
talk?
Yeah. Talk on a podcast, killing me.
All right.
Brett Moffitt wins, but
These people here to listen to advertisements.
Yeah.
Hi there. It's your vagina speaking.
Yeah.
There we go.
So Brett Moffitt wins, but overshadowed by Matt Crafton beating up a kid. Nick Sanchez.
I mean, he's not a kid. He's 22. He's not a kid.
He's 22.
Child.
He's a
His
child.
prefrontal cortex isn't developed yet. Come on, Zach.
He left his
born
binky
when
in the
Matt
truck.
Crafton
He's
was
a child.
22.
That's true.
He left
Alleged
his
sucker
pinky
punch.
in the truck. Gosh.
He has a booster seat for crying out loud.
What do you guys think?
His
I don't know.
What are your
his
thoughts on
passenger
this
seats,
fight?
He only has his permit. Sorry, that's enough. Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's a sucker punch, Like, if you're going to fight a guy, at least talk to him first so he's ready and then fight after that. Apparently, the story I read was basically like he walked up to him, kind of nudged him, and as he's turning around, there's already a fist coming for his face. It's like, that's not, like, come on. Especially if you're an old man, like, have the cojones to fight the man. You know what I mean? Don't sucker punch him. Like, that's just like, it's like fighting with your helmet on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then he's trying to blame it on. He's like, "Oh well, no, Nick talked shit first, and then I punch him." It's like, well, I don't think you're not landing a punch that square to a face, unless if you're face to face talking with a guy, because you would have some reaction to like get a little bit out of the way or block it a little bit.
Right.
That's a sucker punch.
Or probably cameras would have been on that way sooner if they're sitting there having an actual conversation, but all the camera saw was the aftermath. So if they are walking up talking to each other, they're heated at all, there's going to be someone there popping out their phone to record it. There's none of that. All we see is Sanchez on the ground with an already bloody nose, getting up, and then him trying to actually fight him, and then getting held back already. So there's no way it was actual conversation beforehand.
Yeah, Crafton said that it wasn't a sucker punch, but like you said, if they actually, were getting into it, verbally, there'd be cameras on already, and there weren't. But everybody, Matt Crafton is the only one saying that it wasn't a sucker punch. Everybody else is like, oh, it was a sucker punch. So, yeah, it was a sucker punch.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't say what it was. I haven't seen video. I'm just saying.
We know everything. Come on.
What do we?
But what I do know is Matt Crafton is a bit of a bitch. So he gets mad all the time. He's fucking yelling all the time. He gets pissed off about how these kids race him. It's like, well, Matt, maybe if you didn't fucking suck and got out of the trucks, you wouldn't be racing in NASCAR's lowest development series. Yeah, Joe, not including ARCA.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, what happened on track was absolutely not sucker punch worthy in the slightest. No. If anything, Matt
turned himself.
Yeah, if anything, Matt was not clear.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't want somebody to get on, go middle there, maybe protect the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know. You slid up a full truck out of turn 4 and, then you try to go left back into it and there's a truck there and you cause a wreck. But I don't know. What's his name? Greg Van Alst broke his back in the wreck.
Oh yeah,
As a fracture vertebrae. So
terrible.
guy wins the ARCA race at Daytona and has been injured in both of his truck races that he's run. So it's been a tough go. Who else? There was another guy. Who's
Yeah, wasn't there
somebody
someone
else went to the hospital?
But I think they were cleared like later that day.
Yeah.
So. Forget who it
and
was.
I watched the wreck and it's not a bad wreck. So I don't know. I
Don't
can't
gotta look
remember
bad
who
to
it
be
is either.
bad.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, so that kind of that was the race pretty much. There wasn't much
That's
going on.
Daytona week, baby. Or Daytona
week.
Talladega week. Sorry, shit.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh, Lord have
I was
mercy.
thinking about whacking off Gatorades earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
There's 2 more truck races, Homestead and then Phoenix. And let's see what we got. Corey Himes leading, he's locked in. Hocevar's 23 up from the cut. Eckes +9, Sanchez +3. And then you got Enfinger -3, Rhodes -5, Majeski -19.
Not looking good.
I don't know, man. Homestead's a track that I think he'll run really well at. And Zane Smith is an 8th, -36. So Homestead's going to be a good truck race to watch.
Oh yeah.
I think there's going to be some good battles going on.
Especially if they can run
Okay.
the well done line, you know.
Yeah. Definitely have to do the well done.
It still is wild to me that they're in the round of 8
Yeah,
trucks. It's just
100%.
those like differences in the schedules just always throw me off with.
Yeah,
Silly.
2 races remaining, and you got what, 6 in Cup?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Something
Mhm.
5?
Yeah, it's
But
wild.
yeah,
Only two
From
more companion weekends, like all 3 series, which would be Homestead and Phoenix.
Yep.
Which is kind of
That's
crazy to think about.
yeah. Season's almost over, guys.
It's here.
Don't tell me that.
It's here. 5 races left.
Don't say those words.
Every time playoffs hit, I'm
I'm
like,
not-
oh my
not
gosh,
ready.
what?
Yeah,
Like, how many races left? And then it just
you
made
hit
it
May,
feels,
and you're like, man, this seems going forever, and then
Yeah.
you get to the playoffs, and it's like it's over already.
yeah, and then it's the playoffs always make it go fast too, because anytime it's like segmented up like that, like 3 races at a time, it just for whatever reason makes things feel like they go so much quicker. So it's just like it sneaks up on you. Luckily, it's one of the shortest off season in sports, so we don't have that much of a break, but it's definitely hard to know. There's only a handful left.
Yeah, and it's cool stuff that goes on in the off season. Like you got Chili Bowl and Rolex 24 and
Snowball Derby.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, all different kinds of stuff. So at least there's something going on usually.
Yep.
Hopefully
All right,
Chase
let's move on.
doesn't pick up the snowboard this off season.
Okay, you had to get that one.
I
in
hope
there,
he
didn't you?
does. Let's move on to the Roval.
The old Roval.
Austin, you're going to be there.
I'm gonna be there, not with pit passes because SMI is very strict on those, but I will be at the race. Hopefully, I'll remember most of it. But we are tailgating before, and last tailgate did not go so well. So
It did not.
Did not.
That was a tailgate.
that was a tailgate.
It
Well,
was a
that sounds like it
tailgate.
went
Oh, wow.
exactly how it should.
Yeah.
A full bottle of Jim Beam that disappeared in my hand suddenly. It was
Yeah,
suddenly empty. I don't know what happened to it.
in your body.
In
Yeah,
my-
it was wild.
It was not on me. Okay, it's not on me.
Yeah.
Had at least 2 sips given away. Okay,
Did you whack it off?
I wiped off the
Hey.
bottle of Jim Beam.
I sadly am out of town, so I cannot attend
Joe's
the
out of
race.
town,
But
unfortunately.
yeah,
But no, it'll be fun. I'm bringing another group of people to check it out, which will be a good time. It's always fun, kind of showing people a little bit about NASCAR and taking new fans there. People who really aren't super into it. Well, they say the whole time, probably not. But our seats should be pretty good. I think we're sitting in the same spot we did for the 600, which should be a pretty good view of the infield section.
Good.
So I think it'll be cool for them to see like a road course. But I'm excited for it. I always love the Roval. I think that adds some excitement. But you know, we'll see how it goes.
What do you expect to see from the drivers? Who do do you think the playoff guys are gonna make a hard push here?
I mean, I think some guys have to. I mean, we talked about Ross. Ross is going to be elbows up at least towards the end, probably the whole race. The cautions. I mean,
I hate that.
I hate it because then it's just the classic. It's all track position with this car on road courses, so you're going to get the classic. Just pit 2 laps before the stage caution, boom, you're suddenly in third, and you're there the rest of the race for no reason other than you cheese the strategy essentially. So I mean, it's just, but I mean, at the same time, I don't hate it. Like I've recently swung to not liking that strategy just because of how important track position is. But it is kind of interesting when you see guys in the top 10 pit 2 laps early. It's like, okay, are you going for the stage points or are you really just going for the race win? So it does add a little bit of that mix up with strategy, not as much as no stage cautions and just straight pit strategy throughout the race. But like I said, I've recently made that pendulum swing to disliking it, but there are some pros that I like to that strategy, but not with this package where track position is absolute king on these road courses.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see.
Chase Elliott is the favorite to win. Joe, does he got it?
I sure hope so. I'd love to see him get a win this year. I think I saw he's now a full 36 races without one, so would be pretty neat for him to win a race, and he's won here a few times, so I'm confident, and he's still in the owners playoffs, so I have to remind you of that every podcast. So yeah, go Chase.
Nobody cares still. It's weird.
I care.
I saw a clip of Jeff Gordon trying to say how he wants the owners points to be talked about more. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to push Chase out there somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, we'll
Zach?
see. Yeah.
Racing Roval.
I'm not excited. I was just doing some laps before this, and I'm just so bad.
Possibly the last Roval. If the
Possibly.
rumors are correct.
I don't know.
What?
Did you hear that clip of Marcus Smith I shared?
Yeah, I saw that. He says he likes it.
He likes it, and he wasn't giving any it's going away vibes. So I don't know.
Yeah. But I feel like they have a lot of pull SMI.
Oh yeah.
Oh, massive.
But
I mean,
they're gonna have 2 races there.
Who owns the tracks right now? NASCAR, SMI.
And that's pretty much
I think that's it.
There's maybe some independents. Are there any independent tracks out there?
Is it Road America Independent?
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Watkins Glen. Is Watkins Glen NASCAR or are they independent?
I feel like that's NASCAR.
I think it's NASCAR.
I feel like they're okay.
I could be wrong. That's just for whatever reason my brain's telling me it's NASCAR.
Yeah, I think Road America is like one of the few independents. So.
Yeah. So I mean, they clearly have a lot of pull. SMI does, since they're the only other
Indy
big track owner. Yeah, Indy, Penske.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We just need one of them to buy Road America so we can get it back easy.
Yeah. I would hate that because
that
America's
would be bad.
Awesome. Like they dump all the money into the track like they're supposed to.
Yep.
And of course they get a fresh repave and we're like, fuck off. Yeah. No. Gotta love it. All right, let's move on. Other news. Talks of a new F1 team. I know one of you guys know this.
Andretti F1 approved Andretti's team, but the team still need to. So we'll see about that.
Dude, it's just
I think they get improved.
Them and their money.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if F1 as a whole did it, I could see the teams doing it. I just feel like they're so anti anything new coming in. I mean, when's the last time we had a full new team? I mean, a Haas, but didn't they buy someone?
Mm-hmm.
Or did they come in brand new?
I think they took over a team. Like they bought it out.
They took over. No, because Force India is now Racing Point or whatever they are now. I can't keep up with how many times that team changes, but yeah, I feel like they bought someone. But anyway, yeah, I just feel like they're all so resistant to change. But I mean, they're not going to be a competitive team to start, so I guess there's some hope there for them actually approving it, especially if F1's already proved it. So fingers crossed.
I think I think F1, just me speculating from an outsider perspective, because I don't waste my time with F1 very much. But I feel like F1's gonna like be like, no, we need to let them in, because I think they're hoping that Andretti will bring back some American interest if we have like a real American team like Andretti going in. And I think right now there's some current concern about losing that American market, because newsflash, F1's boring as fuck. And I think all your Drive to Survive people are starting to figure that out, especially with Max. Max isn't helping. But I find it so funny that like everybody's acting like, oh, Max is Red Bull ruining F1. Like, have you not watched F1 for the last 20 years?
Yeah.
Like this
Mercedes.
is all in right. We just came off of Lewis Hamilton winning
that, it was
7.
Ferrari and
So it was before Max. It was Lewis winning 7 championships
Vettel
in a row.
him.
Should have been 8, and then it was Vettel before him, and then there was a few seasons in like there was like 04 to like 06 or 07, whatever, where there was a couple different championships. But then you go back a little bit further, and it's Michael Schumacher and Ferrari, and then the 90s, and like it's just this has always been F1. So I mean, maybe other people were winning a couple more races, but it's like domination like this has been known to happen.
Yeah, it's always 2 drivers win every race basically.
Yeah.
And then
I think it's pretty much whenever they kind of come out with a new car, right? I mean, that's when Mercedes took over.
Then
Yeah.
Red Bull.
Yep.
Also, something I feel like you mentioned Lewis should have been 8. I feel like something that doesn't get talked about enough is like the curse of 7. Like how many people have 7 and no more? Like NASCAR, you got a bunch of 7 timers, no 8 timers. Formula 1, I mean, do we have any 8 timers? I feel like they're all 7 timers in Formula 1. Even
I think 7, because I think Schumacher has the record, and that was the big deal. Lewis tied it.
Yep. You have John Force, who has like 8 billion in NHRA, but like for the
anybody can drive straight.
Oh well, come on, all right.
He drives straight the best, though.
He drives straight the best.
Yeah.
Everyone can do it, but he does it really good. But Lewis definitely deserved that one. I was cheering for Max that time because I always love seeing an upset, but I do also like that. Like, I feel like 7's the max. I feel like Dale kind of solidified that with passing away after 7. I feel like that's like no one should ever break 7 at this point. That's my secret superstition right now. I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough.
I feel like the only motorsport where you're likely to see 7 get surpassed is Formula 1, just because of how it works. But
how often do they change cars?
I mean,
Lewis won 7 or 8. I think it's every 5, 6, 7
I don't know.
years.
I don't know how often they plan on messing with stuff. I mean, Mercedes and him took over. I mean, I guess it depends. What do you consider change car, right? Like when Lewis started winning, the big thing was they switched to the V6 hybrid, and that's when Mercedes just figured out that engine plan, because I think they had a few different versions of that car, because F1's always changing crap. So I don't know. I don't really know like when their generations of car really stop and start. Like we know about NASCAR, like when the Gen 6 was, Gen 5 was. Yeah, I don't know.
You have like yearly changes, like NASCAR does. You have like little adjustments every year, like package changes. But then you have the big changes. But unless they have a dildo on the front of it, like that one Formula 1 car does, you don't really notice the difference that much.
I think I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
The penetrator.
God. The Top Gear episodes about that, incredible.
So funny.
Yeah, but Formula 1 doesn't feel as drastic. It's not like a, maybe it's just because I don't follow Formula 1 as close, but I don't feel like with Gen 7, it's like it's all this hype and news and everything surrounding it. Formula 1's like, oh, hey, by the way, they're coming with a new car. Here's the changes. And it's going to look a little bit different. So, cool. And it's like, oh, okay. So, it feels a little bit less drastic, but still drastic enough to make a completely new dominating team every change. So, who knows?
Yeah. MotoGP, Valentino Rossi, 7 championships. So your 7 there.
Yep. So, and then, like Lewis should have had 8. He was positioned to have 8.
Should have.
And then I hate being this guy, but there was that crazy stuff at the end and kind of stolen from him. So, but it's like almost like the universe saying no more than 7.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm sure.
Not that the universe has a voice, but anyway, you know what I mean.
Okay, so we're moving on. We're going to the kill count. We have
Woo.
a new kill count leader.
Bum bum bum.
Corey LaJoy
No.
has surpassed Joey
Drake and
Logano.
Drake and Shambles.
And Shambos
But-
as well.
Shit,
Huh?
you gotta go wax the
Me
Gatorade after
me
this.
and Joe have we got a bottle. If anyone's into bourbon, me and Joe are very into bourbon, as you can tell by
Very.
my shelf behind me. But
I'm not drunk.
Yes, not drunk, but we did get
Yeah.
this new Bardstown barrel strength select private barrel that we've been tasting.
This isn't an advertisement.
No advertisement, but it's very good. So me and Joe
Please
have
pay
been
us, though.
sipping
Feel free.
129
I'm waiting
proof
for-
bourbon. So
Austin to fall out of his seat while he's doing this. Like, I'm not drunk.
yeah, man.
Clip it.
If you wanna hear more, Joe, was it
What's
Sullivan Speakeasy? TikTok.
Yes.
TikTok.
There you go.
Follow me.
Yep.
Bardstown,
But-
sponsor me.
Corey LaJoy takes over. He has 17 for the season. He added 10 on Sunday. Brad Keselowski is tied for second with Joey now. He got 6, so he's at 16 now. And Kyle Busch, he's getting 1 added.
Kyle Busch, that wasn't his fault. What are you talking about? You're high.
Oh, he changed
Just a Kyle
lanes and
Busch
hit
fan.
Ross. Yeah.
Ricky Stenhouse ran out of gas in front of him.
But did Ricky wreck Ross?
He caused the whole thing. It's Ricky. Get out of here.
Half points to each.
Kyle Busch gets 1.
You're
I
fucking
don't know
high.
how many. He doesn't have that many for the season, so it doesn't fucking matter. Unless if he
You're
just
so
goes on
fucking
a
high.
rampage for the next 4 races, it doesn't matter. What does he have? He's got 2. He's got 3. Get over it.
Fucking high. This whole thing, you just ruined any sort of credibility you have.
I mean, you could have just sat behind Ricky.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
accepted it.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
Well, now that we got Zach riled up, let's go to Survivor. Zach, Survivor.
I won. Get fucked.
Holy shit, I got last. God damn it.
Oh, I didn't get last. Hell yeah. Where did
I did not get last.
Yeah. The old Ryan Blaney pick paid off. I knew it. I called it.
Second. Wait, no.
It's funny though because I win and yet I also lose because now Ryan Blaney winning and making it to the round of 8 ruins my bold take for the year. So, yay, I guess. And it also breaks my playoffs. So cool. Thanks, Ryan. I got a bunch of mixed emotions going on here. So I won. Blaney was first, obviously, and then who was second? Drake with Denny Hamlin, who got an impressive P4. Did you see that move he made coming to the line? Like that was pretty wild.
I mean, him going from. I feel like Denny does this. I feel like he does this every super speeder race. He has some mistake. He has put a lap down. He somehow fights his way back and finishes top 5. Like
he is so good at play track racing.
So good. That's why
it's nuts.
I knew it was a good pick because it's Denny.
Yeah, he either crashes or finishes really well.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Yeah, checkers are
Some
Joseph.
people saying he choked.
Yeah. Okay.
People,
People. You know what else I saw? I saw people talking shit on him for pulling in the middle lane when he was getting lapped and breaking up the field. Like this is like the 4th or 5th time we've seen this happen. Like this is just the way they do things now. Like Ross was the first one I saw do it, and now they just do this. That's just what they do to get back into the pack. Like I don't know. It is what it is.
Less people
It's crazy.
will pass them.
Yeah, well, you break up the momentum in the pack and you file in 10 rows back versus going all the way to the back.
Yep.
So it works, and drivers
it
don't seem to have
works,
a problem
but
with it. So whatever, it looks
if
crazy.
you do it on iRacing, you can go fuck yourself. Go to the high lane. But in real
I will
life,
wreck your
no,
shit.
it's fine. Yeah.
Speaking of, I had no luck at Talladega this week in NIS. Let's see. So then I was on Joe. Joe finished 3rd with Chase, who got 7th. And then Andrew Bubba. Not a good day for Bubba. 23rd.
He was
the
running
matches
really
on.
good. I was.
Yeah.
I don't think he
0.1.
scored any stage points though, did he?
I don't know. I think no, he had to. I mean, Reddick got one. I don't know.
Or did they drive the same car?
Nobody was in front of Reddick like most of the race.
Was he in front of Reddick at the end of the stage?
That would be the question, wouldn't it?
That would be the important part.
I don't know. I think.
All right. Well, anyway,
You're killing me. Hold on, playoff points. Where is?
all right, well, you need to make your
Only
pick.
fair.
Make your pick and then do this investigative
No.
journalism. Oh,
It says he got 14 points. I don't think that's right.
we didn't do this
The
beforehand, so I actually
Roval.
do have to do this live.
I was
It's
gonna
annoying.
say. This
I
is-
know.
Yeah.
I am gonna go with. I'm gonna go Chase Elliott. Fuck it.
Mm.
Yay!
I'm gonna throw this Survivor Championship out the fucking window.
I hope you win.
It's actually super tight right now. You're just going
It
over
really
the
is.
score.
87
Yeah.
86 to 86 to 77.
Zach.
I'm here.
To Zach, yeah.
Listen.
87 86 86 to
Listen,
Zach.
I just started my run for the rest of the year. You boys
Yeah.
watch out.
Yeah, he's gonna win out here. We're all gonna tie for last.
Mathematically eliminated, but he's making a run.
We're going for it. All right, so Chase Elliott.
Me?
Oh boy.
Is it me?
Hold. You take your time because I got to format this and all that sort of shit.
Yes.
Okay, you. Who you picking, Joe?
Me. It's me. Give me Dennis.
Mm.
All right. He's running well recently. It's half decent. on
That's an
road
interesting
courses.
pick because he does not have to run well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yep.
Too late, you're locked in.
Yep, you are.
Ooh.
Fuck.
I'm between two guys right now. I don't want to say who I'm between. That's
What?
I mean, that a dream. You know what I mean?
Hey, yo, hold on.
That bourbon's
What
kicking
did
in,
he
ain't it?
say?
What
He's
did
got a
you say?
Gatorade in both hands.
Yeah, he does.
Oh my gosh. Gosh, man. I'm leaning. This is the one I'm leaning away from, but which makes me think it's a better pick. Let's go, Martin. MTJ.
Old pick.
He's got to run well, or he's got to run decent road course. I think he's going to snap back into it. I'll tell you my second pick once Zach makes his pick.
Christopher Bell. Oh, you already picked.
I did pick him.
He picked him probably like first week he could.
No.
Kyle Busch.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
Oh, he's already picked him
Oh,
too.
no, never mind. That was week 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick Kyle for this anyway.
Sure.
I'm gonna go with Busher.
Mm.
Really?
Yep.
My secondary was Michael
Oh, McDowell.
because he's been running. I mean, he always runs well at road courses.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad pick.
It's just hard not to pick a playoff guy. Like I'm stuck in the playoff
Right.
lane.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard for me not to not to pick one of those guys. Oh, you know what we did talk about did we talk about Kevin Harvick getting DQ'd?
Oh, we didn't talk about
Oh,
that.
we didn't.
No.
That happened.
Yeah, it did.
We're organized on this podcast.
Yeah, we are.
In case you haven't noticed.
That's somebody crossed it off, didn't they? Yeah, somebody.
I don't remember.
Oh,
crossing
Joe.
it off.
I'm blaming
Yeah.
Joe.
Go to the edit history.
Yeah. Harvick
Oh,
gets
that was me.
disqualified.
Okay, that was me.
Loose
My bad.
fasteners on the windshield.
Yep.
Not appealing.
I saw. Yeah, they're not appealing. They were gone, but I did see. Who's his crew chief? Childers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He said there is photographic evidence that with like 30 to go, they were still there. So sometime during the race, they came loose, popped out. I think he said with 20 to go, they were gone. So
Well,
mistakes.
I still think you know you did something shitty if you're not going to appeal it and you have photographic evidence to prove that you were in the right. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they got to stay in. I mean, otherwise
Yeah.
people would be just leaving them loose all the time
yeah.
if it makes an advantage. Which I don't see how this helps you.
Well, that's the point, right? Like they intentionally didn't put them in tight. I mean, they were saying on DBC they help. I don't understand how they do, but they were in agreement that yes, there is an advantage to doing that.
Interesting. But
Hence
yeah,
why they were DQ'd for it.
imagine if you would have won. That would have
That'd be
been a
wild.
shit show. But he didn't. so it doesn't matter. Just moves everybody else up one. I think it's 1 point for Chastain, but
I still think they're going
Phoenix,
to cheat the shit out of that car at Phoenix. You watch.
Mm-hmm.
Harvick's going to be a rocket at Phoenix.
yeah.
I have
See
no
it.
doubt.
Okay, well, we have one OnlyFans this week.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Ooh.
One more than
I
last
was
week.
actually asked this at work. Yeah. We got one from Brian. What race is on your bucket list?
Ooh. Is this Hicks? That Brian? Or from work, Brian?
Nope. Work, Brian.
Thank goodness. Okay, I can actually answer this one. Ooh. Bristol
Ooh.
Night.
Race anywhere
Bristol
in the
Night?
world?
Oh, yeah. Anywhere.
Indy
Talking
Indy
NASCAR.
500.
Ooh.
I'm going to answer two. I'm going to answer NASCAR one. I'm going to answer
NASCAR
anywhere
for
in the
me is
world one.
Bristol Night.
Yeah.
That's like absolute bucket list, which is not, I don't know why I haven't been yet. I've been to Bristol Dirt, but not to the night race. So that's not an NASCAR bucket list. But yeah, with Joe, I think the Indy 500, just because I've heard that's the absolute best racing spectacle
It's amazing.
in like any motorsport. So that's definitely
Mhm.
because Formula One, like Monaco, like, okay, I can watch one corner of Monaco. Cool. Like 36 times, whatever many laps to do at Monaco.
Yeah.
That's not super appealing to me. Like it'd be cool to go to, but I wouldn't call it bucket list. And whatever, what other races that kind of prestige, I guess, in Formula One, nothing really. NHRA, every track's the same pretty much. So I've seen it. It's awesome.
Straight.
Car goes straight and fast.
Very cool though. Not
Yep.
taken away from NHRA. There's just no like, mecca for NHRA. Those are really the main.
I would think the
motorsports.
cool one would be the one you guys have in Charlotte anyway, that Z-Max drag race with
Funny enough,
4
though,
lanes.
I like the 2-lane better. That
Oh, yeah?
lasts a lot
Really?
longer. The 4
Yeah.
lane, it's just.
I guess that's
like,
true.
The nitros, once they start, they're done because they're going to afford a time. So I like the 2-lane better, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But
Event goes
like,
twice as fast, I guess.
once you kind of reach a certain point of noise and feel and everything, doubling that doesn't really do a whole lot. It's like it's still just loud. You're feeling it everywhere. 2 lanes still does it for me, and it lasts a lot longer, like a little better. But anyway, I think that I'd say Indy 500 is that's my long-winded answer to overall bucket list, and the NASCAR bucket list, Bristol Night.
Okay. Joe, what do you got?
Indy for not NASCAR and NASCAR. Well, I would have obviously Bristol Night, but I want to be different. I guess I would have said Road America because it sounds amazing, but we don't have that right now. But Watkins Glen always seems like it's a party. They got really good camping, and the racing there's usually good when we have a good road course package. So, I'd love to go up there, and that time of year in New York's pretty too. So,
Yeah. Zach?
I don't care if I'm not different. I'm going to Bristol Night with Drake.
Cool.
We'll tailgate together. That's just like the NASCAR race of the year,
It
in my
is.
opinion. It's my favorite. I love Bristol, and especially Bristol Night. So that's an easy one. Out of anything though, probably 24-hour Le Mans. I would love to go to that.
Ooh, yes,
That's
that's a good
true.
one.
That would
Yeah,
be
I like that one.
that would be a party. It would be a toss up between. I was going back and forth between Le Mans or the Nürburgring. I think I would go to the Mans just because of it's more prestigious and you get like all the really really cool cars because that Nürburgring it's just
GTs.
the fast classes GT3s and then they have like 100 and some odd cars and they got like 90 classes. It's crazy.
Like GT4s, GT5s, GT20s, like just like,
Yeah, they got all kinds of
Yeah.
goofy shit.
you
They'll
don't
have
really
like
know who's
stock
who. Yeah.
Hyundai hatchbacks running around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Le Mans wins it out. Specifically, if I could pick one Le Mans race, it would have been the one this year where NASCAR
Yeah.
won. That would have been
Yeah,
awesome.
so
But,
sick.
Yeah.
but that would be
So
my anywhere pick.
I like it. Le Mans is I'd love to go to that race, but not really on my bucket list. Consider that, and then the Isle of Man TT races.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I just don't want to see
That
somebody
is on my
die in
bucket
front of me.
list.
Jesus.
True.
Yeah.
You don't?
It's funny enough, no.
That's fine. It's just
I have been to Indy, so it's amazing. You guys should go. Road America, if they ever add it, go. Completely different vibe. But, I mean, I've been to Bristol. So for me, it was like, oh, Daytona 500, right? But then I started thinking, it was like, no, what I really wanted to do was I wanted to do the week-long Charlotte. I wanted to go to the all-star race, do all the things during the week, and then hit the Coke 600, but we can't do that anymore. But I think the Coke 600 might be it for me. I don't know. As far as NASCAR goes.
It's a party. Come on.
Yeah. Talladega, I mean, that's a party. Michigan's awesome. You guys should go to there if you ever get a chance. It's a big party. But I don't know. I guess the Daytona 500 for me, if we're sticking with just NASCAR. Maybe North Wilkes, but I don't know yet.
I agree.
Better package first, and then North Wilkes.
Yeah. If we get a good race package, then definitely. But yeah, I think right now it'd be the Coke 600, maybe Daytona. But yeah,
it's a good question.
Thanks for that question, Brian.
Great question.
That's a good one.
Love it. I think I'm gonna harass everybody at work. I'm gonna get either a TikTok going or just something I can play audio wise.
I have one that me and Joe
shit out of
ready to
them.
debate on this week. If we have a quick minute.
What's that? Yeah, let's go.
Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds?
Reynolds.
Reynolds. Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
Good. No discussion needed. Just
I was expecting an argument.
It was surprisingly an argument. We were me and Joe were having a little bourbon tasting night, watching Sunday Night Football, and they showed Taylor Swift, and her box was Ryan Reynolds. So there goes. So we can all agree that Ryan Reynolds is the inferior Ryan, right? I'm like, huh? And then one of our friends goes, he goes, yeah, absolutely. Gosling's way better. I'm like, are you high? Like, I know we've been drinking bourbon, but have y'all been smoking meth at the same time? Because my gosh, like there's no way. And they were like, we were fighting tooth and nail about it. I put it up. We brought it to I brought it to my team at work. Everyone voted Reynolds. I made an Instagram poll. The majority said Reynolds. So I'm glad we're on the same page here too.
I don't know how you can't pick Deadpool over Ryan Gosling
over La La Land. The proposal.
I think that's where you get it. Is you get like the female versus male perspective. Maybe the women are gonna go Gosling because he's hot or whatever.
So is Reynolds.
So I don't know.
Ryan Gosling doesn't own a soccer team and Formula One team, so
Yeah.
We got him beat there. Anyway,
Welcome to Wrexham's good, by the way. I like it.
Next week we'll ask who's the better of the Chris's: Pine, Hemsworth, Pratt, or Evans. But we'll save that for next week.
I'm surprised you didn't ask who was better, Deadpool or Wolverine, because he was standing next to Reynolds at the game. But
yeah, true.
Deadpool,
yeah, for sure. Anyway,
good
question.
But
be sure to
question.
send your questions.
Yeah, like I said,
we will talk about them.
Go to Twitter, send it to our email, website, all the things. Just get a hold of us. We'll ask it
and answer.